Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we're back with some more news and politics from around the world for Monday, June the 26th, 2023. Now, we'll start off with some interesting information we're seeing about space. The James Webb Telescope has detected a key carbon compound in the Orion Nebula about 1,350 light years from Earth. That's still a long ways away, but yeah. We now see the potential that there is a habitable planet nearby. Relatively speaking, the universe is huge, but yeah. The compound known as methyl carbon, or CH3 plus, aids in the formation of more complex carbon based molecules that are the foundations of all known life. This particular discovery, found in a young star system with a protoplanetary disk, isn't an indication of life, but will help scientists continue to understand how life could potentially develop elsewhere in our universe. So, regardless, it's a interesting discovery. So yeah, I think this story is related to it. James Webb Telescope could determine if nearby exoplanet is habitable. Well, a rocky exoplanet orbiting a red dwarf star 98 light years away could. Oh, this is a completely different one. That's a heck of a lot closer. Could hold the secret about how likely it is for planets like Earth to transform into inhospitable worlds like Venus. The exoplanet named LP899c, also known as Speculus 2c, was discovered in September of 2022 and has a diameter 40% greater than Earth's and orbits its star every 8.5 Earth days. So it has a much longer revolution time around its sun. Or, I'm sorry, it orbits the star. Okay, so its orbit is much quicker than Earth's. I was thinking how long it took it to rotate, but no. Its revolution, it takes it the time of only 8.5 days on Earth just to go around its planet. It takes us on Earth 365. So yeah, this thing's zooming. The red dwarf, though, is small and cool, meaning that temperature cannot be clement to even close to the star. Indeed, LP899c is located near the inner edge of the star's habitable zone. which describes the distance around a star where a planet with an Earth-like atmosphere can support liquid water on the surface. So it's on the inner edge. That means it's at the hottest point it can get to while still supporting life in liquid water. So it would still be a bit warm. Interesting. So that's completely different from this one. Because like I said, this one was 1,350 light years away. While this, they said, was only 98. So, yeah, these are two different things, and that's interesting. But, a bit of scientific space information. Florida. Not the Florida man this time. Florida woman who shot black neighbor through door won't face murder charge. The Florida state attorney decided to pursue murder charges against a white woman accused of fatally shooting her black neighbor through a door. Declined to pursue murder charges. He announced Monday. Susan Lawrence has been charged with manslaughter with a firearm and assault in the June 2nd shooting death of Ajike Owens. State Attorney William Gladson said his office determined there was insufficient evidence to file a murder charge against Lawrence. Charging her with murder would require prosecutors to prove evidence of hatred, spite, ill will, or evil intent toward the victim at the time of killing. So they just feel it's easier to get the conviction on manslaughter with a firearm and assault, because they feel getting murder would be a much tougher charge to get to stick with what information they have. As deplorable as the defendant's actions were in this case, there is insufficient evidence to prove this specific and required element of second-degree murder, Gladson said. As is always true in criminal cases, failure to prove beyond a reasonable doubt even one element of a crime will result in a not guilty verdict. Given the facts of this case, aiming a firearm at the door and pulling the trigger is legally insufficient to prove depraved mind. The Marion County Sheriff's Office had also charged Lawrence with culpable negligence and battery, but Gladson's office is not pursuing those charges based on testimony from witnesses in the case. Gladson said he would be pushed to file charges based on community pressure, or would not be pushed based on community pressure or public sentiment. Simply stated, my obligation is to follow the law. Understandably, emotions run high, particularly with senseless, violent crimes. However, I cannot allow my decision to be influenced by public sentiment, angry phone calls, or further threats of violence as I have received in this case. To allow that to happen would also be improper and a violation of my oath and as a prosecutor and as a lawyer. So she faces up to 30 years in prison if convicted. I doubt she'll get the full 30. If she is found guilty, she'll probably get something like 15 year. Yeah. This is from Total News. Florida murderer punches his lawyer as he is sentenced to death. A Florida serial killer sentenced to death for murdering an 11-year-old girl and her babysitter Monday assaulted his lawyer in court, the video has revealed. Joseph Zeiler, 61, appeared to beckon to speak to his attorney, Kevin Shirley, after entering court handcuffed for a pre-sentencing hearing. Zeiler, who was eventually sentenced to death after leaning forward to speak to Shirley, suddenly caught Shirley in the face with a violent elbow strike, causing Shirley to spin. You didn't get me a not guilty verdict. I mean, the guy is basically being sentenced to death, but you shouldn't be going out and killing people. Yeah, he elbowed his lawyer. This is from AP News. The Supreme Court won't let a North Carolina charter school force girls to wear skirts to school. Good. You shouldn't. I mean, the whole idea of being like, you must wear this. If they want to wear pants, they can wear pants. If they want to wear jeans, fine, so be it. Goodness. The Supreme Court on Monday left in place an appellate ruling barring a North Carolina public charter school from requiring girls to wear skirts in school. The justice declined without comment. The justices declined without comment to hear an appeal from the charter day school in eastern North Carolina town of Leland. A federal appeals court had ruled that the school's dress code violated the students' constitutional rights. Yeah, I mean, why do you feel you have to make them dress a certain way? It's complete and utter BS. This is from CNN. Supreme Court allows for Louisiana congressional map to be redrawn to add another majority black district. The Supreme Court on Monday allowed the Louisiana congressional map to be redrawn to add another majority black district. The justices reversed plans to hear the case themselves and lifted a hold they had placed on a lower court's order for a reworked redistricting regime. There were no noted dissents. So everybody said, yeah, they should be able to go ahead and redistrict to get another majority black district. Yeah, I mean, that's basically the way things work anyway now. And just because it goes against one side that's had power for so long, yeah, whatever. The Jerusalem Post. 2 rockets fired at Israel from West Bank for the first time in 18 years. The rockets, which were fired from Jenin, exploded the Palestinian Authority territory. Israeli forces arrived at the scene and are investigating the accident. The Palestinians launched 2 rockets towards sovereign Israel from the Jenin area on Monday morning, the IDF reported. They landed inside Palestinian Authority territory without hitting any Israelis or Israeli locations. It was the first time a rocket was fired at Israel from the West Bank in 18 years. One of the rockets fell 5 meters from the launch area, and the other landed 80 meters away, the IDF said. Although a review of the wreckage found that the rockets were full, no explosive materials were found in the wreckage. This suggests that either the rockets were a publicity stunt or a test run that was not meant to explode. As of press time, it is unknown if those who carried out the launches had more rockets or explosive materials. Yeah. So, sound and light signifying nothing. Noise and light signifying nothing. I think it is. I think it's like sound and fury signifying nothing is the actual saying, but yeah. That's essentially what happened. This is from ABC News. Germany offers to station 4,000 troops in Lithuania to strengthen NATO's eastern flank. Germany says it is willing to send around 4,000 troops to Lithuania on a permanent basis to strengthen NATO's eastern flank up against Russia, yeah. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius said during a visit in the Lithuanian capital of Vilnius on Monday. Germany is prepared to permanently station a robust brigade in Lithuania, Pistorius said. He said infrastructure and facilities will need to be created to accommodate the soldiers and their families. In response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine early last year, the German government pledged last June to have a combat brigade ready to defend Lithuania. So yeah. This is from Global News Bulletin. Teen dies hiking in Texas heat at Big Bend Park, and their stepdad killed in a car crash while seeking help for the teen. 14-year-old boy died after hiking with his stepfather and brother in extreme heat at Big Bend National Park in Texas on Friday. The stepfather died in a car crash after he hiked back to their vehicle to seek help, officials said. The park's communications center received the call around 6 p.m. local time requesting emergency assistance, along with the Marudo Vega Trail, park officials said in a news release Saturday. Temperatures at the time were 119 degrees Fahrenheit. In those situations, don't go out hiking. Find you some spots of shade. Make sure you have plenty of liquids with you. Heat is not a laughing matter, people. It can kill you just as easily as, severe cold. I feel sorry for that brother because he loses the father and his own brother. So, yeah. Now, we're going to watch some videos here.
Where the West Bank was, because this map doesn't say anything.
So, Israel sees the West Bank. It's part of Israel, and Israel does not put anything on our maps around the West Bank, because the West Bank is just like Tel Aviv or Jerusalem.
I mean, literally,
like I said,
racist fact that Palestine even exists, though.
Palestine, if you ask anybody in Israel,
but it's not fair. I think the real issue is that it's inappropriate for all of us to be told that to be shown this map as if this is the truth, when only Israel and the Israeli government seems to think that the West Bank is part of Israel, when the entire international community and Palestinians themselves would never say that. And the reason is because the people who live there can't vote, they're under military occupation, their water is being controlled by somebody else and they can't get enough access to it. And I mean, their lives are made like a living hell because they can't even see their families in Jerusalem. They can't get to other cities because the roads are constantly controlled. They have to go through all these checkpoints. And they never know when something could be shut down or when their day could just be made a living hell by the Israeli military.
Yeah. I mean, come on now. These are even their arms may have been twisted. Palestinian people, were like, fine, we let, the Jewish peoples into Israel to take back what was historically their homeland, even though we're living here now. But it's like the government of Israel's greedy, 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 greedy. Seriously greedy. They have kept scooping up strips of land and proclaiming it Israeli land instead of Palestinian land. The city of Jerusalem was holy to Palestinians too, but it's completely in Israeli territory. I hate when religion is used as a reason for things.
Country of Israel.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out is what is the Israeli government's agenda and what are the other donors to Birthright's agenda in showing us these maps and not talking about the West Bank and the occupation? Is the agenda for all of us to go home and believe that Israel is this great country that's not enforcing a military occupation? Because that's the agenda that I'm seeing. And that's what it seems like.
Exactly. Like I keep saying, I've got nothing against the people of Israel. The average people you should never have anything against. But their government and some of the people in power, no. They are not good people. Okay, and this is a video on the actual conversation he had about classified documents. And I figured it would be a good thing to listen to this.
They had sick people.
That was your coup, against you.
Well, it started right at the beginning.
When Millie's talking about, you were going to try to do a coup. No, they were trying to do that before you even were sworn in.
That's right.
Trying to overthrow your election.
Well, with Millie, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look. This was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him.
Wow.
We looked at them. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff. It's pages long. Look. Wait a minute. Let's see here. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, you know. Except it is like highly confidential.
Yeah.
Except it is highly confident. Then why are you showing it? Oh my God. He knows it's highly confidential. Why? You know, I think he's not used to receiving so much pushback on things, that he's used to getting away with this or that. And he, just because of who he is and his attitude, he's finally hit a point where he's not going to be so lucky this time.
This is secret information. But look at this. You attack, and
Hillary would print that out all the time, you know.
she'd send
Private
it,
email.
she'd send it to
Yeah.
Anthony Weiner,
Yeah,
the pervert.
Please print.
By the way, isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
I was just saying, because we were talking about it, and you know, he said he wanted to attack Iran and what. These are the
You
papers.
did.
This was done by the military, given to me. I think we can probably, right?
I don't know, we'll have to see, yeah, we'll have to try to figure
Declassify
out
it.
a, yeah.
See, as president, I could have declassified
Yeah.
it. Now I can't, you know, but this is
Yeah,
classified.
now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's so cool. I mean, it's so, we here I have, and you probably almost didn't believe me, but now you believe me.
No, I believe
It's
you.
incredible, right?
No,
Hey, bring some Cokes in, please.
I'm joined now by CNN senior political commentator Adam Kinzinger, a former
I
Republican.
don't care about that. We'll let it play. It's 2 seconds left.
Congressman who served on the House General.
Okay, there we go. We're good. All right. Oh, yeah. Clearly, he knew having them was not permitted. But it's like it satisfied his ego. Now, just because I thought, all right, this is an unusual story. ProPublica, inside the secretive world of penile enlargement. They wanted it because they'd just gone through a bad breakup and needed an edge in the volatile dating market. Because porn had warped their sense of scale. Because they had been in a car accident and were looking to fix a curve and were hoping for a little software upgrade. Because they were not having because they were not having a midlife crisis. Because they were, and it was cheaper than a Bugatti Veyron. Because because after 5 kids, their wife couldn't feel them anymore. Because they had been molested as a child and still remembered the laughter of the adults in the room. Because they couldn't forget a passing comment their spouse made in 1973, 75. Because despite the objections of their couple's therapist, they believed it would bring them together in their to their sex-obsessed husband, who then had an affair that precipitated their divorce because they stopped changing in locker rooms, stopped peeing in urinals, stopped having sex, because who wouldn't want it? Yeah, all the reasons some people have enlargements. Mick, his middle name, wanted a bigger penis because he believed it would allow him to look in the mirror and feel satisfied. He had trouble imagining what shape the satisfaction would take, since it was something he'd never actually experienced. Small and dark-haired, he found his adolescence to be a gauntlet of humiliating comparisons to classmates who were blonde and blue-eyed, to his half-brothers who were older and taller and heterosexual, to the hirsute men in his stepfather's Hasidic community who wore big beards and billowing frock coats. After he reached puberty, late in his estimation, he grew an impressive beard of his own, and his feelings of inadequacy concentrated on his genitals. None of Mick's romantic partners ever commented on his size, but his preoccupation had a way of short-circuiting the mood. He tried several kinds of self-acceptance therapy without success. Whenever he went to the bathroom, there it was, mocking him like an evil root. He said of the fixation, "It gets in there and grows like a tree, but I think everybody that has that on some level about something." After high school, Mick decided to study art and moved to Berkeley, California, where his mother had spent her hippie years. Eventually landing in Seattle, he supported his life as an artist by working in the hospitality industry. His paintings often depicted a human body glowing as if transfigured in a geometric landscape. Over the years, Mick kept up with the advances in male augmentation, but wasn't thrilled by the options. The gains from the vacuum pump were fleeting. Hanging weights from the end of his shaft seemed like a painful investment for an uncertain result, and having a surgeon snip his suspensory ligament, which promised an additional inch or so, could lead to wobblier erections. It wasn't until the spring of 2019, when he was 36, that he came across something appealing. A silicone implant shaped like a hot dog bun could be inserted just under the skin of the penis to increase its girth with flaccid length, or girth and flaccid length. Okay, goodness. So it's just a look inside penile enlargement. I mean, it's interesting, something to sit down and read at some point, but yeah, okay. Oh yeah. We're going to look at a chart here. This is the top 100 most pornified franchises. This time with Western data included. And it's using, the most pornified media franchises. You know, Rule 34, if it exists, there's porn of it. So yeah, number of explicit posts on Rule 34.xxx and Sankaku channel. I guess the Sankaku complex. So yeah, Pokemon heavily just towards the top there. My Little Pony, Toho Project, Naruto, Sonic the Hedgehog, Final Fantasy, Fate, DC, Fire Emblem, League of Legends, Genshin Impact, Overwatch, Super Mario, Marvel, Dragon Ball Z, My Hero Academia, World of Warcraft, Idolmaster, Kontai Collection, Legend of Zelda, Digimon, Street Fighter, One Piece, Azur Lane, Resident Evil, Animal Crossing, Five Nights at Freddy's, Fortnite, Undertale, Dead or Alive, HoloLive, Bleach, and then it gets to where it slowly just start decreasing. Persona, Star Wars, RWBY, Danganronpa, Blue Archive, Avatar, Mass Effect, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Star Fox. Yeah, and we're getting down there. 21,000. Yeah, they go on for a while. And it starts really trimming down. 10,000. And we hit the bottom. 9,406 is as low as they go, but yeah. Now the old mantra, if it exists, there's porn of it, Rule 34. And this is an image. The Cotton Mill Girls from Kosciuszko, Mississippi in 1913. They're what? They look about 10, 11, 12, 13. Working in cotton mills. And now we're getting back to a period when it's like, yeah, we want children back in certain fields of labor. We've almost completely lost all progress we made. There's a number of things we've kept, but yeah, everything's almost been completely turned around from the advancements of the 1940s, where children was no longer put in deadly occupations, where we decided, yeah, some regulations are good, because up to that point, you had people just doing things to make money. It didn't matter what they did, how it hurt customers, or what. So yeah. But we'll go ahead and end this episode here. As always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting my links in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.